Somehow we've all lost our neck. And this is very popular, and you see people walking down the street or you see people driving, and just learning to use the muscles under the shoulder blades and get the shoulders down and sort of find that freedom in the neck again, because the neck is not supposed to be consistently tight. You should have a neck.
I keep hearing a lot about Pilates, but I know absolutely nothing about it. But I wanted to find out, so I went right to the top. Today, Katherine and Kimberly Corp are here. They're owners of Pilates on 5th Avenue in New York. They were nice enough to come all the way to California to teach us Pilates. And later in the show, comedian Grace Fraga will join us for the workout, so that I make a complete fool of myself by myself. Great to have you both here today, so Kimberly and Katherine. Okay, you got the whole identical twin thing going on.
Yes, we do.
I don't know where to start. You guys were Rockettes, you were in the CIA, and now Pilates. I have to know how you went from CIA to Pilates.
Well, we were in graduate school at the time that we were at the CIA, and then the dancing bug had always been in us. So since we were
with the Rockettes.
Right, well, we were at graduate school at Columbia, so while we were there, we just thought, well, we might as well audition and see how it goes. So.
And it worked. We actually got into the Rockettes on our first audition, and we did that.
We'd always danced. It wasn't like, we've never danced, but we think we'll audition. We'd always been dancing and kept it up. So it seemed like, well, you always regret more on your deathbed that you didn't do than that you did. So
I think you've done a lot of it already. But I was thinking of you the other day. I have to admit, I saw this ad in a magazine that said, your father did not do Pilates.
No.
And Dad, well, I'm doing Pilates. So what is this? I mean, I think it's kind of like yoga, but I don't
that's
know.
one of the misconceptions, because yoga has been around for centuries longer than Pilates has. Pilates was actually developed in the 1920s and 30s by a German man named Joseph Pilates.
Joseph Pilates, a German
and
guy.
You can take over.
Okay. And he originally started it as a way to rehabilitate people. And he actually worked with men a lot initially, which is interesting because it's really thought of as a female exercise nowadays. But what makes Pilates different from yoga is that yoga focuses a lot on increasing flexibility and really expanding, whereas Pilates really focuses on core strength.
Core strength.
Exactly. And the equipment that exists for Pilates was designed out of hospital beds originally. So there's a machine called the Reformer, which is the most popular, and how that developed was he was rehabilitating. You strap them down and torture them. No, he was rehabilitating soldiers injured in World War I, and because old beds were made of springs, he attached springs to the frame of the bed so that people who were bedridden could start to work their legs and work their muscles
without gravity.
And that's how the alignment focus started with Pilates. He actually started with the mat exercises, which we'll do a little later today, and then developed the equipment for the people who couldn't quite do the mat exercises yet. So it targets the deep muscles of the abdomen and spine instead of the peripheral.
Now, I saw you had some myths about, or the benefits and some of the myths about Pilates, and one was whether it'll make you taller.
Yes.
Right.
Well, once you reach a certain age, you are not going to grow more. However, if I sit like this all the time, and this has been my habit for years, and then because of Pilates, I learned to strengthen the muscles of my spine and get my abdominals stronger, and I sit like this, I'm going to look a lot taller. So the perception is that people grow doing Pilates, but you can't really grow.
So it's really just better posture.
Yeah, it's better posture, and as we age, the discs between our spinal vertebrae lose their water. I mean, it's documented well. The water decreases, so people start to shrink. But if you can strengthen the muscles that surround the spine so that the muscles are also holding up the spine instead of just the compression of bone on disc on bone on disc, then that helps as well, so that people are carrying themselves with a better gait, more poise, and the end result is they look taller. Always better.
Okay. And there are different levels to this?
Yes, absolutely. Pilates is great because you can really target people from a beginning level to an advanced level, and really, so someone who, like, if a woman is pregnant or a senior citizen can start Pilates, as can someone who is an avid athlete. You're not going to be doing the same exercises. Pilates is wonderful because you can really modify it to the level of the person that you're working with.
Exactly.
But you say it's a mistake that sometimes people want to go too advanced too soon when they're not really ready.
Like, for example, if you were to start martial arts like Taekwondo, you wouldn't go in and say, well, I'm a very fit, because you're obviously very fit, but you wouldn't walk in and say, well, I'm very fit, so I think I should start at a green belt. because I'm fit.
I'll just make me a black belt.
Yeah, exactly. You would definitely think, okay, there's a progression and there are stages that I must complete, and you start at white, yellow, and it progresses from there.
Sure.
But I think with Pilates, we get many clients at our Fifth Avenue studio that come in and say, well, I'm flexible and I'm fit, so
my abs are strong, so I should be in an advanced class. When technique is really important. People see much better results when they really get the technique correct.
Right.
And so you really want to start at the beginning level, then you might progress faster than, say, someone who's never done any exercise. But the technique's important.
And I think people who sort of take the 3 steps back go 50 forward because they're doing it right from the start, so they see the results that they were hoping for when they began the program to begin with.
Sure. And how often do you have to do this? Is this an everyday kind of thing, or?
Well, we sort of believe in quality, quality more than quantity. So if someone can get in 20 minutes a day, that's better than an hour once a week. And we have podcasts, for example, and so we have a lot of people who've started with our podcasts, and then they come to the studio after they felt a little more comfortable doing the Pilates on Fifth podcast. They didn't feel like they were coming in as a complete beginner.
Right. And I'd say the average client comes 2.3 times a week.
According to our studio statistics, it's 2.3 times.
So I think, especially in the initial phases, just to kind of get the movements into the body, more than once a week is really ideal, just for muscle memory. But after that, so I'd say people come between 2 and 3 times a week to get the most out of it.
Right.
And it's not, if you do it every day, you should maybe focus on a different body part every day. You're always going to be working the abdominal muscles in Pilates, but maybe work the abdominals in the arms one day, or the abdominals in the legs and buttocks the other day.
What we worry about is with anything, there can be a plateau, and there can also be the inevitable, I'm tired of doing this type of thing. So when we have clients who are like, I'm kind of getting sick of Pilates, we're like, then take a break. Go back to, if you swim, swim. If you run, run. It doesn't have to be an all-inclusive. It can be a great cross-training regime. And we find most of our clients use it as a cross-training regime or as a complementary workout system. So they may be avid golfers. Like we have a lot of executive men who spend every day sitting at a desk in their high-powered, stressful job, but then they run out on the weekends and swing a golf club madly. And we're like, please take care of your spine. So they do Pilates.
So it can even help with your golf game.
Absolutely.
It can, because it strengthens the deep muscles of the spine, so that when you go for the gusto with the swing, you're not taking all the torque in the lower back. You're sort of distributing the force along the length of the spine with strong muscles and not allowing it just to right in the lower back.
And this is something that the people who master it really are able to incorporate even just in their daily life.
Absolutely. I think that's one of the great things about Pilates is that you learn certain little tricks that can keep your spine healthier. For example, we talked about this earlier, but if you're sitting at your desk all day long with your lower back rounded, that's putting an incredible amount of stress on your lower back. So just getting the deepest layer of the abdominal muscles a little bit stronger, you'll sit right up on your sit bones, and it's actually giving you a nice flat stomach, which is wonderful. We all want a flatter stomach.
Yes, we do.
And then also really strengthening the muscles around the spine, which is better for disc herniations, which start to happen as we all age. And thinking that if you're standing in line waiting at the bank or at the grocery store, you don't want to sink into one hip.
Right.
You want to stand firmly on 2 feet, because that sinking into one hip will make the muscles on one side weak, where they might be a little tighter on the other side. So it's the whole idea of balance and symmetry.
And another big problem, both with, well, since we live in New York City, we see it with people walking, and here in LA, we've noticed with people driving, is the shoulders creeping up to the ears. Is somehow we've all lost our neck. And this is very popular, and you see people walking down the street, or you see people driving, and just learning to use the muscles under the shoulder blades and get the shoulders down and sort of find that freedom in the neck again, because the neck is not supposed to be consistently tight. You should have a neck. Everyone looks taller with a neck.
And also, anyone who's had neck pain will just testify to how incredibly uncomfortable it is.
Right.
Because there's so many nerves in this
area. You can't
area.
rest your neck. Like if you can prop up your arm if your arm hurts, and you can prop up your ankle, but if you have neck pain, you're sort of trapped, because until you're reclined, and even that doesn't help for some people. So we have many clients who say that Pilates has helped with their neck and shoulder pain, which makes a world of difference in their daily life if they can wake up every morning without the pain.
Now, does this takes a lot of equipment? You have to have a studio?
No.
Or?
No, go ahead.
No, mat work is one of the fundamental pieces of Pilates. In fact, that's how he started the whole thing. Sometimes it's easier to start with equipment just because you have a little bit more support.
Right.
But again, we offer many modifications for some of the exercises that look a little bit daunting at first. We always break them down so there's a way to do it if it's a little bit too tricky, so you can still get the same muscular emphasis and the same benefits without having to go to the full ideal of form of the exercise.
There's some Pilates mat exercises that can be difficult for different injuries someone may have, and that's what the equipment is great for, is there's always a modification. But there are are plenty with mat work as well to accommodate all different body types.
All right, okay, well, let's do this. Up next, get ready to work out. We will be right back. Okay, get ready to work out. We are back. Joining me now is Grace Fraga, a comedian here in LA. You can tell she's a comedian because she's got the mic.
Hi, of course. I'm hogging the mic. Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Okay, so what have you guys got for us?
Well, the first exercise we're going to do is called rolling like a ball. So would you like to see it first?
Sure.
So what you do is you sit back of your sit bones and you're balanced in a little ball shape. So your body becomes a ball. And then you inhale to roll back just between the shoulder blades. Exhale, you come up and stay, but you don't put your feet down. And you inhale, you roll back between the shoulder
like a
blades.
ball.
And exhale, come up and stay. So the challenge here is to keep the abdominals flat and in control of the movement and balance both at the top and at the bottom. So, oops, sorry.
I think that's one for you, Grace. Do you want to roll like a ball?
Well, all right.
All right.
That's right. I'll
So
do it.
just, I'll be here. So just angle your feet that way, just in the same position she's in.
This is
Yep.
the plus-size ball. All right.
No. Just spin the other way so you have a place to roll on carpet. Yeah, you're perfect now. I just wanted you to be able to roll on carpet.
Profile.
Okay.
That's why. Okay.
Absolutely. So now what you do is you pick your feet up. So now you're balanced here. Are you balanced? And you know what helps? Keep your gaze at your knees.
All
so
right.
keep looking at your knees.
All right.
And now you inhale, roll back between your shoulder blades. Don't worry, you're not going to. And exhale, come up and stay. Yes, but don't put your feet
Okay.
down.
Okay. Okay.
So
All right.
why don't you hold right under your calves?
All right.
Yeah, perfect.
Right.
And inhale, roll back between the shoulder blades.
I'm sweating already. I only did one whole thing. Wow. Wow.
And come up and
Okay.
stay. That was perfect.
Oh,
Wasn't that
yeah.
perfect? Inhale,
good
roll
to
back
me.
between the shoulders.
good.
It's even better when you do it to me.
Yeah. You were at the full-time fool, so you don't feel like a fool, right?
That's right.
Right. Okay.
See, I knew what I was doing. I had this
I
plan,
know,
you
you're good.
Inhale, roll back between
All
the
right.
shoulder blades.
You know what? My legs are hurting.
And come up and where are they hurting?
No, not hurting.
Oh,
But like, I'm doing it wrong probably because I'm putting.
No, it's you're holding yourself, like every muscle is contracted to hold you in this position. So isometric contractions of the legs are occurring because you're
Okay.
holding your knees bent, you're holding your legs squeezing together, so your inner thigh muscles are working, and the abs are constantly pulling in. So you inhale, roll. You want to do it again?
All right.
Inhale, roll back,
All right.
and come up and
This is
stay.
kinda fun.
Yeah.
I feel like a little kid. Can
See,
I do it
it's
again?
fun. Yeah, you can do
All
it
right,
again.
there you
Inhale,
go.
roll back.
And now, do you
come
ever
up and
go the
step
whole way? Do you keep going ever?
No, you never go into your neck. Yeah, you never
you
go
never
into your
go?
neck.
Never go into the neck.
Yeah, and that's the thing here. That's a big difference between yoga and Pilates is you don't ever go onto the neck. So the
Okay.
Pilates theory is the cervical vertebrae in the neck are so tiny that you don't want to put the full body weight onto them.
Oh.
So that's one big difference.
Good.
So would you like to try the next one? Shall we try the next one?
I think
Are
you should,
encouraged?
Grace.
I think we
Go
should.
ahead. I know what. Oh, yeah.
She's
Okay.
already in position. She's
Yes.
ready. I think, hey, let's go
Yeah,
for
okay.
it.
Ready? Yeah.
So the next exercise is called hundreds. So Kimberly's
Okay.
going to do this one.
Okay, so I'll angle the same way so you can see me. So,
Okay.
So now this is an exercise that targets abdominal endurance. So you'll have your head and shoulders lifted off the mat, and then you'll take one leg off, then the other leg off. You can have your legs like this, or you
Okay.
can straighten them. This is a little bit harder here because the lever's longer, so
yeah.
your abdominal muscles have to work a little bit harder. And from here, you'll inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 100.
All the way up to 100.
All the way up to 100.
I know that is hard.
Yes.
Yes.
Would you like to do it too?
This one is really good for you, Greg.
Good for me, huh?
I think it's a good one for Greg,
Okay,
don't
we'll
you?
see if I can do it.
This is a Greg exercise.
I know I
should've done that. That's not good.
cannot
Okay.
go to 100 though. Okay, I
Okay.
have
Oh,
to
you
go
can.
to 100?
Yep,
Yep.
hers.
Okay.
Okay,
So you can
want me to
start. Yeah,
put
lay
the
it. Start with
feet
your
up?
down.
Yep. So
Okay.
one leg up, then the other leg up. Stretch the legs
Okay.
on a diagonal if you can. Curl the head and shoulders off the mat.
Curl the head
and
and
we
shoulders.
will inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and keep flattening your abs. Good. And inhale 2, 3, 4,
That's just a
5, and
sweatshirt.
exhale 5 and 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, and squeeze the inner thighs nice. And 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we are halfway there. Good.
How's it
Inhale,
We're
feeling?
halfway.
4, 5, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, and curl up a little bit
Curl up.
higher. Good. 3 more sets. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3.
How you feeling?
5. 2 more sets. 3, 4, 5. Smile.
How's it going?
Last set. 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Bring the knees in. Curl up even
Bend
more.
your
Bend your
knees.
knees.
Bend the knees, okay.
And
And
hold
then
them.
let your head and shoulders come down.
and shoulders.
then one leg, and then the other leg.
That's my favorite part right there.
and that's your 100.
Oh,
Excellent.
I like the rhythm.
Yeah, it's nice.
I
You get
wanna
into
do
it. Yeah.
Okay, I think it's time for Grace.
Oh, thank you.
Alrighty then.
So shall we do the banana, the
Yes, we
sideline
should.
one?
Banana?
The banana. So
That's not the technical name
That's-
of the
yes,
exercise,
it's a
but
name
your
of
body's
the
going to
banana.
make a banana shape, so we always call it the banana.
I'm a little scared.
So, Katherine, why don't you demonstrate this one first?
All right.
Just because it's easier if you see it once instead of being
Okay.
surprised. So you start lying on your side, and you want your body and legs all in one line. And it helps if you really pull the abs in and really squeeze your glutes, which are, you know, your little butt ski muscles.
Yes.
So you inhale to start, and on the exhale, you press into the hand and you lift the body and legs. So it's just a banana. That's why we call it a banana. It's just enough of a curve like a banana would have. Some people try to do too much, and you start to roll back, and that's all right. So it's just exhaling up, the head, shoulders, and legs, and inhale down.
This is great for getting rid of
The love handles.
Oh.
Yes. Or any extra little tummy stuff. So,
Nice.
alrighty.
Alrighty.
then. So I'll slide this way.
This is
Grace in motion.
Yes. Very
I
nice.
just came up with that. That was
Yes,
good,
now
wasn't
you
it?
have to
I like that.
lay down. So outstretch to your right arm.
Okay.
Yeah, so lay down on this arm so your head is resting on your upper arm. So go all the way down.
there.
Perfect, yeah.
Okay.
Now what really helps here is squeezing your inner thighs together. So like pretend you have one leg. You have unileg. You're a mermaid.
Okay. Nice.
And if you can, take your top hand to your top thigh. If you can't, that's fine too. Yeah, the balance part is the fun part.
Okay.
Because we want to have fun while we're doing Pilates. Okay. So inhale to prepare. On the exhale, press into the hand and lift your head and shoulder. Yes, perfect. Inhale and coming down.
Oh,
Very
thank you.
nice. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, head, shoulders, and legs come up like you have one leg, unileg, and inhale down. Very nice. Squeeze your glutes just a bit more and come that way.
Up and down?
You inhale to start, exhale to go up, and inhale to come down. So
Okay.
that's the effort, like, ugh, you're bringing your body up. So inhale to start. Now exhale, bring your body and legs up. And inhale to come down. And let's do that one more time. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, head and shoulders up. Keep those legs squeezing together. Good. Inhale, coming down. Very nice.
This is kind of fun.
That's fun, right?
Yeah.
See,
And
Pilates
normally you do it on both sides. We're
of
just going to do
course.
one side today. But
Thank you.
you are quite welcome.
I think I would make a great supervisor.
You would be a great
need a supervisor at the Pilates studio.
Yes,
I think I will oversee
we
the
always need an
exercises.
overseer, making sure everyone stays in line.
And what's next?
My turn.
Well, we can do obliques rollback if you'd like.
That's excellent.
Okay.
Let's do obliques rollback. So this next exercise also targets the waist. Get nice and slim through here. We've had clients tell us that they've lost a belt size, which is always a good
Oh.
thing.
Nice.
And another good thing about this one is if you do have neck problems, this one starts seated, so it keeps the body upright, so it doesn't put any strain or tension on the neck. So this is a nice one to
So you
start.
start sitting nice and tall on your sit bones, your knees are bent. Inhale to prepare. On the exhale, you roll back off your sit bones, and then you twist your rib cage to the right. And then inhale, come right back up to the starting position. And exhale, roll back to the left. And inhale. So what she's not doing is when she rolls back, go ahead and roll back and let your abs pop. See how you don't want that to happen. You don't want everything to go puh.
No, to keep it pulled
splat.
in.
Right.
Yes.
Everything pulls in. So different people might have to modify the range of motion so that doesn't happen. If you start to roll back and everything starts to pop out, then you've gone
Yeah,
too far.
don't do that.
Come a little bit further than that.
But
So
see,
whose turn
they
is
have
it?
an unfair advantage. These are former Rockettes here.
That's right. We're not.
No,
You're doing great.
doing
who's up for
fabulously.
this one?
I think it's Greg's turn.
Okay, I'll give you
I
this
agree.
one.
Totally agree.
Here, I
Okay.
second the motion.
Alrighty then. So, and I get to supervise. Oh, actually, no, Grace, you get to supervise.
Okay.
So let's twist to the right first. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, roll back off the sit bones and rotate the rib cage to the right. Good.
This-
And then inhale, come right back up to the start position. Try to keep the weight evenly balanced on both sides of the behind. Exhale, roll back and twist to the left this time.
Yeah.
Yes, we get to alternate sides. Yes. And inhale. Think of looking toward the hand that you're going to. Exhale, roll back, so look towards your right hand. Yes. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Inhale.
Did you hear that? She said beautiful.
It's really
Am I
nice
ready for the
looking.
Rockettes?
You are.
Ready. Exhale to the left. Roll
have the
back and
height for
twist to
sure.
the left.
It's like
Yes.
ballet.
And inhale up. Let's just do one more
What
time each
about-
side. Exhale, rolling back. Good. Rounding through the lower back. No tension in the neck, of course. Inhale up. And last time. Exhale, rolling back. And inhale, coming up. And that is your obliques roll back. And did you feel this in your abdominal muscles through here?
I did, and actually it's kind of relaxing.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
The breathing actually is
Helps
very
relax.
relaxing. It helps quite a bit.
Because so many people hold so much tension and you end up with shallow breathing, and you don't mean to in life, but we all end up with where we're only using like the upper third lobe of our lung, and Pilates helps you access the deeper lobes so that breathing becomes more efficient and relaxed.
It was way down there.
Good for you. Alrighty then.
I think swimming.
Swimming is next,
Swimming.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So
This
Katherine
is
will demonstrate.
Great for the muscles of the backside of your body.
Yes.
So upper back, middle back, and butt ski.
Yes, so we're lying on
Can
our...
you just fix my little...
Yes, we're all wired up here. Very nice. So you start on your stomach and reach your arms and legs out. And then you inhale just to prepare. Exhale, you lift your legs and your arms up. And then you inhale for 5 and exhale for 5 in a little swimming motion. So you don't have to swim like Jaws is after you. You just have to swim. It's a nice little flutter. Yes, it's just a nice little flutter. And what this is doing is it's strengthening the muscles of the back, strengthening the glutes and the hamstrings, and establishing control so that you're not wobbling back and
You
forth.
don't want to wobble, and you also want to be sure you don't do this.
Yeah, so you're looking at the floor, not straight ahead. And you can come down. And we won't do too many of these.
You got a few more miles to go.
Yeah. The English Channel. Alrighty, so Katherine will scoot over, and I do believe it's Grace's turn.
All right. I'll do it.
Alrighty then.
So on your tummy.
All right.
So laying on your stomach, beautiful. Reach your arms out in front of you, and you guys match in your little burgundy outfits, so that's nice.
That's cute.
Yes,
planned
very
that.
cute. Yes. So just
Top and bottom, black on the
Yes,
bottom.
they're very, very coordinated. So inhale to start. Exhale, just lift your head and shoulders and arms up. Perfect. Now we start to flutter. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. Keep looking at the floor for your neck's sake. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. Try to lift a little higher. 3, inhale. And
Come on,
exhale.
try to lift a little
Just
higher.
one more set. Inhale 3, 4, 5. Exhale 3, 4, 5, and inhale to come down. That's your favorite position, isn't it, Grace?
Definitely.
Okay.
That's called the sleeping position.
The sleeping position.
Yes.
But did you feel anything positive
Oh,
in
my
here?
back, right here.
Okay, good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so what it does is because you're lifting up evenly, a lot of us have a tension to take all of our extension right in the lower back, and that's not exactly healthy. So this sort of evens out the extension of the spine so that it's more evenly distributed and all the muscles of the back work instead of just getting the torque right in the lower back. So we don't want any of that.
Now, do we have time for one more?
We are going to take a break. We'll be right back, and we will continue with the Pilates. And we are back, continuing our Pilates workout today. Okay, now you got out the trampoline here, huh?
Yes, indeed.
Now, is this Cardiolates,
This
or
is
what is this
Cardiolates.
about?
This is Cardiolates. This is Kimberly and my little brainchild, because we found that a lot of our clients were having a hard time keeping the weight off just doing Pilates. And the fact is that Pilates was never meant to be a cardiovascular system of exercise.
So it's not really for burning fat.
It's not for burning fat. I mean, once you get to a certain level, you will be at maybe the lower threshold of the, you know, aerobic chain, so it will count. But most of the time, it's meant to be done slowly and methodically, and really good for toning muscles. So what we have done with Cardiolates is we use the mini trampoline, and you're targeting the deep stabilizers, and we're still balancing the muscle groups. So whereas some rebounding programs may have you bounce like this, this is not in perfect alignment. So with Cardiolates, you're bouncing in perfect alignment. So it's up and down here,
Remember that.
nice
Yeah.
and tall.
Perfection. That's our strength, isn't it, Greg?
So actually, I'm going to have Kimberly hop on, and she'll show you the next the exercises that we'll do.
I'm actually kind of excited about this one.
Yeah. So this
I
would
don't
be
know
the
if I
first
can
thing
do
you
that.
do. You twist. This is great. Again, shrinking the waistline. And then the other one that we have is the slalom. The slalom going side to side. This is actually good for skiers. It sounds like but you're really strengthening the outer muscles. A lot of the cardio exercise that we do just targets the sagittal plane, meaning you're just moving front and back and fronting back. And moving side to side, you get your abductors working a little bit more. So it's good for golfers as well. Who's up first?
I'm going to jump in here.
Okay.
I'm willing to do this.
I don't like the
I
ladies
think I
first for
just
this
have
one.
to
So go ahead.
watch my mic here, Grace, if I could
Oh,
get around
I'm
you,
sorry.
please.
Yes.
No problem. And okay, so do I just start going forward?
Yes.
Is that it?
Yep. Good. So just try to think of head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
Head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
Yep. And then so Kimberly will be doing the exercise there.
Oh, then.
Yes.
Oops, sorry. I don't know. I'm kind of going to get at this, but I don't know.
Yeah. So
Am I any
actually,
good?
bring your feet right together. Yes, bring your feet together, a little bit
Feet
closer
together,
together,
okay.
and think of keeping your shoulders facing forward,
Facing
and then
forward.
twist your hips side to side.
So like,
Hips go this
Yeah.
way. So we
Oh,
can
wait.
jump.
Actually,
Okay.
you know what? Put your hands on your shoulders. Put your
Hand-
hands on your own shoulders, yes, and then twist this way. Yeah,
Am I
that's
doing
it.
it?
Yeah.
Yep. Good.
this is it's actually kind of fun.
It is fun.
I may do the rest. I'm going to do the show like this next time.
Yes.
I could interview people like this.
Yes. And then from there, take your arms and go to the side and just jump to the side
side?
this way. So Kimber, why don't you step in?
Okay.
Oh, okay. Should I watch? Oh, you'll be my.
Yes. Yep, perfect. And again,
gonna-
working the outer muscles of your legs.
And then just do jumping jacks.
Jumping jacks. Okay. Hey, maybe I could get into this.
Yes, it's actually fun.
Believe it or not, you can. And believe it or not, your abdominal muscles actually have to work quite hard to keep you stable. And they're involuntary muscles, so it's not like you're feeling like you're doing crunches, but most people report that when they finish rebounding the next day, their lower abdominals are sore. You know, on women, that area that likes to pooch out a little
Jogging?
bit?
Yes.
Yeah, that'll
Nice.
pull right in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Well,
we
this
like
is
that. We like
higher
when
up,
pulls
is
in.
that?
Yeah, so try to get knee to. Yes.
Okay, now I'm getting a little uncoordinated here.
No, jogging's
My baby,
good.
how are you?
Do you see how it's hard to stay in the middle? Like your body wants to go.
Yeah, don't fall off. Well, thank you very much, Kimberly
Yes, very good.
Corp, Katherine, Grace Fraga, comedian here in LA. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next time. I have never quite bounced out of the show before.